Man.
Good day. We are third-year DevCom students from the University of Eastern Philippines, and I am Ana Rose Cantiga.
And I am Winnie Mago.
And we are going to conduct an interview with Mr. Brenfred Romero, Philippine Youth Ambassador of Goodwill. So good day, sir.
Good day, Ana Rose Cantiga.
So first question, sir. Can you tell us what is SSEAYP all about?
Okay. So SSEAYP stands for the Ship for Southeast Asian Youth Program. Like historically, it is known as that, but a year after its 40th installment, it was changed to Ship for Southeast Asian and Japanese Youth Program. But basically, the program is it is being led by the Cabinet Office of Japan with the support of the different with the support of the 10 ASEAN member states.
So what are the goals and objectives of this program?
The goals and objectives of SSEAYP. Basically, the SSEAYP is annually done to actually foster friendship and mutual understanding between and among young individuals of Japan and the 10 ASEAN countries. So it's all about friendship.
How do you join the SSEAYP?
Each participating country has its own protocols and has its own screening strategies. As in the case of the Philippines, like I first sent my application letter to the Office of the President of the Republic of the Philippines National Youth Commission. And then a month after, I was notified that I can go for the oral interview. So like from the national selection to the regional selection. And for the regional selection, I went to Tacloban cities from Qatar. I went to Tacloban City, and then there I met 12 other contenders for one title. So we had a psychological test, and then we also have an oral interview with 5 regional secretaries, and they are secretaries from the different national agencies of the Philippines, and they served as our board of judges. So like there was one from the National Youth Commission, one from the Department of Tourism, from Department of Education, from Department of Social Welfare and Development, and there's also one who was a representative from the SSEAYP alumni community. And then after the oral interview, the board of judges will have to choose 3, and the names of these 3 will be submitted to the National Youth Commission, and the National Youth Commission has its commissioners and bank. So the final decision would be at the National Youth Commission main office. From the 3, only 1 will be chosen. So like that's the how rigid the selection is, just to get the slot as the Youth Ambassador of Goodwill in the Ship for Southeast Asian Youth Program.
So in joining the program, what is your inspiration and motivation?
My inspiration and my motivation is always like Katarman in particular, and the whole province of Northern Samar in general. So that's one great reason why I joined the program. It's like I would want to tell the world that Northern Samar has also something to show to the world. Like what you noticed or what you've observed, the name Northern Samar will only be televised or will only be included in a news item on TV, on a newspaper, or over the radio if there is typhoon, if there's earthquake, or if there is like if there is a sort of war between the communist group and the military men and women, and nothing more. So that's one reason why I joined the program, because as what I've said earlier, I want to show to the world that Northern Samar has also a lot of things to tell the world. So like with my participation, I consider it as my perfect platform of telling the people in the world that we have a lot of, tourist spots, we have good people, and a lot more.
So as a Philippine Youth Ambassador, what is your role?
As the Philippine Youth Ambassador of Goodwill, like all of us from the Philippines who are part of the Philippine contingent are called Philippine Youth Ambassadors of Goodwill. So one of our, as an ambassador of Goodwill, it's like you have to be friendly in all aspects of your life. You have to be understanding this, and despite of different despite of it's like you have to be understanding to all your fellow ambassadors of Goodwill, and it's like giving the foreigners a sort of bird's eye view of what Filipinos are, remaining positive despite of the despite the catastrophic events in the Philippines, because during that time it was the time when Typhoon Haiyan hit the country. So it's like showing the people in the world how resilient we are, by also being diplomatic in answering their questions about the problems being faced in our country. So basically, it's like bringing the name of the Philippines in outside the Philippines through my participation. So it's like I was not just there as Brentford Romero. I was not just there as somebody coming from the University of Eastern Philippines, as somebody coming from the province of Northern Samar, as somebody coming from the Eastern Visayas region, but I was there as a Republic of the Philippines.
What are your activities during travel?
So actually it's not plainly travel. It's like it was my first time to go abroad. Like long before, I've been dreaming that the first time that I'll be traveling abroad, it must be for a noble reason, for a noble cause. Yeah.
How many countries?
During SSEAYP, we went to 5 countries. So it was really like it's a dream of a lifetime. Okay, so traveling from one country to another was just one of the many activities. So whenever we have a port of call in a country, so we would have the chance to meet the prime ministers, or like in the case of Japan, we met the prince and princess. Yes, and then in every port of call, we also have like homestay. So every country I had host family. So the objective is like to learn the culture of the country by staying with a native family. And as what I've said, like part of call and homestay are just few activities. We also have solidarity group activities. So we also have solidarity group activities is more of team building activities, and then we also have discussion group. So in discussion group, like I was part of the information and media, and I worked with broadcasters, TV actors from the different countries of the ASEAN community and Japan. Club activity, it's like I from the Philippines, I can join an activity from the Kingdom of Thailand, like say for example it's a Thai massage, so I'll be exposed to it. What I can remember, I was part of the Vietnamese coffee making. We also have the national presentation. It's like each country is given an hour and 45 minutes of showing the rest of the delegates the culture of the Philippines through songs, dances, dramatization, and a lot more. And we also have, you know, the throwing of the thicker tape, and I could consider it as one of the hardest parts of the program, because it's like after the homestay we have to go back to the ship, and then our host families will be there at the port. They will wait for the disembarkation of our ship, and when the gong signals like ding, so we have to throw our ticker tape to wherever our host family members are. And so it's like the connection is being strengthened, but of course a lot of us already be crying, because like we are going to go to another country, and seeing our host family members still there, like bidding goodbye. That's it.
So, as a Philippine Youth Ambassador, sir, what do you think is your contribution to help our Filipino youth today?
Mm, One contribution is, like becoming an inspiration to the rest of the Filipino youth. Like in my case, it's like, as what I've said, as what I've said earlier, is like, giving an inspiration to the Filipino youth, that we don't have to belittle ourselves. Like in my case, I am from Northern Samar, and it's one of the poorest countries in the Philippines, and not all people in the Philippines actually know that Northern Samar is existing. So I'm from the countryside, but no matter how poor our province is, I have this belief in myself that, like people in Manila, I can also make a difference, that I can also become a youth ambassador of Goodwill.
How many years, sir, did you as a Philippine Youth Ambassador?
Uh, The program actually was like for 3 months. So for 3 months we were ambassadors of Goodwill, but I find it that, becoming a Philippine Youth Ambassador of Goodwill is a lifetime commitment. So our becoming youth ambassadors of Goodwill did not end during the end of the program. But as what I've said, like it's a lifetime commitment.
Thank you, sir, for your time and information.
Yeah, my pleasure.